Good morning. If you're watching live today, let me know in the comments. I would absolutely, love to know who's here. And I will send in the chat two playlists. So welcome to our today's ritual to increase our enthusiasm, but also to start appreciating more beauty in our lives. Because I feel when we take the time to make things beautiful, like I have a tea towel here that I got in the British Museum. It was a really beautiful exhibition, and I wanted a tea towel for my altar, so I got it. And flowers, and making your morning tea or coffee or cacao, what you're drinking. Actually, I have coffee and tea. Cacao later, maybe. But it's as we're here now in this lifetime, if you look around where you're right now, what are the corners that are not beautiful? And you would love to change, to shift, to bring light into it. I feel like it's really important to take the time to create beauty in life, because especially your home, you're every day there. And if you're every day in your home and every time you look at something you're like, ugh, it's like a mantra. That ugh, that sound that we make is a mantra. And mostly with the sound comes a physical posture and a thought and a feeling. So by creating beauty, we already start eliminating some of those moments, because we can most likely, if we have a safe home here in Switzerland, we can control our environment at home. So let's create it beautiful. And if you're living somewhere where we don't like it, we don't like coming home, then maybe it's time for a new home. And it's either like there are two options, or three, let's say three, but the third option, to just leave everything as it is, I don't think that's a real option. But the first options could be maybe if you redecorate, if you paint the walls, change your roommates if you're living with others, or whatever there is that you can change. If you change that, maybe you will feel better. And that could be the first step in any way. Because the second step would be, why not manifesting a new home where you would feel comfortable, where you would feel safe, where you would feel relaxed and bright and expanded and enthusiastic to sit in ceremony and feel inspired by it. And I mean, the first option can already happen. Like, you can already create a beautiful home now and then use that to already embody the energy of the home that you want to attract, manifest. And then, of course, yeah, you may have to look for listings. You have to go see apartments. You have to tell your friends, your like people that you know, so that if they see something, they can let you know. And I guess the more specific you are, the more specific it gets. I wanted to manifest a home in one specific street. And you don't find listings after streets really. So I was like, how would I even do that? But then, you know what? There was a teacher at our yoga studio over summer that taught at the same yoga studio as I did, and she put it on Facebook. And I wrote her immediately, and she was like, "Do you want to come over right now?" And back then, I was home sitting in my grandparents' home. They were not in Switzerland, so I was there. And it's in the same street too, and my other grandparents live in the same street too. And I spent a lot of time here as a child. It's close to the forest. It's just how I wanted it. So it's like opportunities can open up in the oddest ways. You never know. Of course, you can do like I was ready for a new home, and it was like clear in my system the home is coming, and it's around the corner. It's just brewing, and so it's ready to be drunk or eaten. And I remember then when I came here and I saw it, that it has a garden, and I was like, oh my gosh, the dreamy little garden. This is like the perfect home. And before the the owner, or not the owner, but the lady that was living here before me, she was on holiday, so she couldn't show me the place yet. And oh, actually, no, that's not true. The lady from the Verwaltung, where they rent apartments, she was on holidays. But the owner, like the woman that lived here, she came in the evening home, and I could immediately come and see an apartment, and I fell in love. Like I was already imagining myself. This is my bedroom. This is my garden. This is this. Like how I'm cooking here, and your imagination is powerful because we don't realize that we constantly imagine things which are not real yet. And it doesn't matter if those things are kind of good or bad. We are constantly thinking about something. And why not then try to redirect our thoughts in a way that serves us? And I don't say like you have to control like and this kind of push away your thoughts. You should not deny your feelings. Feel and then let it go and come back to where you want to be. Don't stay in old stories. And then I had to wait for 2 weeks. So the woman from the Verwaltung comes back. And I remember it was like, I didn't know if they will take me, like choose me. Like they didn't put it out yet. Because I'm a self-employed yoga teacher. I thought maybe, they will not feel safe enough to get a whole apartment for myself. And then every time I would go to my grandparents' home, I would pass this apartment with a bicycle, and I would imagine I'm coming home to this apartment. And it's like to feel that enthusiasm, that beauty, but to feel inspired to even feel those things, you have to already put them in your life now. So one of the tasks that you will have is go to your home, declutter the dark spots, and buy plants, get dried flowers. Um, yeah, just make it beautiful. Make it beautiful. It's not that hard. And then another thing is to free paint. This is a picture from my friend, but like allowing ourselves to express our creativity. And this may you not be maybe a painter, and maybe you have different ways to channel your creativity. Maybe it's cooking, maybe it's creating beautiful flower bouquets, maybe it's I don't know, knitting. There are like a million things one can do. And I recommend trying out things and allowing yourself to be creative and to play and to experiment without it having to be something specific. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be labeled as art. Art is just art. Um, Anything can be art. So declutter your home, find a way to channel your creativity, and start to already enjoy the daily things you're doing now, like doing it intentional, like your coffee, filling it up with your affirmation that you want to embody in life. And next to that, I want to give you two meditation practices that are quite cool. They're maybe a little unusual, but one of them is from the Radiant Sutras. I love the Radiant Sutras. If you love rituals and ceremonies and seeing the divine everywhere, this might be the right book for you too. So, and there's like different practices or meditations in there that are truly from the daily life. Okay. And today, like I opened this another day, some days ago, and I was like, oh my god, that's the ritual like that I want to incorporate more, because working with the sutras and like being constantly in that energy of like pleasure, like constantly, like when I say constantly, I mean like it's like we can we can choose to have an overall energy or direction of where we look at in life. And if that is more optimistic and enthusiastic, playful, flowy, still feeling your feet on the floor, it's just gonna be more fun, most likely, because you're not like, ugh, ugh, and like it's not working, and just seeing the stuff that is not working. If things are not working, if things feel stuck, if they feel ugly, if they don't feel fulfilling, let's change it. Like let's make the choice, and it can be one for a month. That we are like, I will sit every day with my cup of tea, and my intention is that I'm shifting this situation in my life. And I don't know how the solution may come. Maybe you do know, so you go for it. But maybe you need to sit in ceremony with yourself to gain some courage, to talk to yourself like, I can do this. I'm brave. I'm trusting my intuition here now, and I'll always be safe. Like we can do these things to affirm ourselves, as if someone else, like how you would do it to a friend, hopefully. If you don't have friends like that, go look for new friends. And of course, it's not like, oh, everything is fine. Like making ourselves aware of where we're talking bullshit to ourselves or each other, that's important too. So the mantra is aham. Aham. And I want to read the first just part, because I think it's super interesting and it just puts so nicely into words. Aham is the source of all mantras and can be heard in a variety of delightful ways. For example, as aha followed by It can also be heard as ah followed by ha and then aha aha aha. It's like just allowing ourselves to make those sounds, so sounds of like pleasure, of enjoyment. And these are the sounds we make all the time because we like to. We say ah in surprise, ha in laughter, and in pleasure. We say ha when we have a sudden insight, and we can say thank you universe for existing. Whenever you explore your relationship to mantra as sound, what's your own personal principle of onomatopoeia? Whoa, whoa. onomatopoeia. That feeling that the sound is itself the meaning. So, is pleasure. So, you can take this, just like notice where you do, ah, ooh, like where do you make those sounds? And notice if you hold those sounds back or if there are not enough moments in your daily life where you feel that. And this can be while eating your delicious food. So, noticing that, first of all, you can tell what mantras are good for you by how they feel. Same goes for words, for affirmations, for people, for activities. And you feel what you feel. If it doesn't feel right, you can look for all the logical reasons why it's good. It just doesn't feel right and it will always outweigh it. So, Aham points to the mystery of consciousness, that there is a witness to creation. Aham is a form of pranava, the primordial shout of exuberance that sets the universe in motion and is similar to Om or Om, but more personal. Sit or lie down somewhere safe and engage with the mantra Aham, either in Sanskrit or as the English I am. I am, or any other language. A couple of times in a minute, quickly whisper aham with your inner voice, sub-vocally, and notice what happens. Pay attention to the spaces before and after the mantra. You can ask aham to repeat itself within your awareness, so you can lean back and simply listen. Notice what happens when you say Ah, it's like the whole body relaxes towards the earth. Delicately pulsate with the sound. Do not feel you need to fill the silences. Rather, allow the sound to evoke silence to remind you of the way silence is humming peacefully, aliveness. So that's a really important sentence. Do not feel you need to fill the silences. Rather, allow the sound to evoke silence to remind you of the way silence is humming with peaceful aliveness. Over time, learn to embrace a hum with spaciousness and not to tolerate the sense of individual identity existing against a background of infinity. Ooh. Yeah. So we will do just that. Either sit down comfortably or lay down comfortably, and you'll be a humming. And if it's or whatever comes, try them out, and it may feel weird, but we want to do it. So I'll do a few with you, and then give you a moment to just play with it. Play, 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 play. That's the mantra. Play. Play. Allow yourself to play. And play doesn't have to be right or wrong or have a specific destination. When play ends, it just ends or it transforms, or you go from the playground to the bathtub. So lay down or sit comfortably. And if you're sitting, maybe you want to roll your spine a bit, your hips. And then we'll just start with and we'll take a deep breath in. Repeating for 3 more times. And then we'll go with Ooh. And now you just start doing all the sounds. Doesn't matter which comes first, last. And I will let you know when it's time to come back. But just play for a moment with the sounds. Let them just flow out of you. Notice when you want to hold back, and then don't hold back. And then with the next sounds, notice the spaces just before and after you make the sound. Like after you made it, before you make the new sound, and vice versa. Mm. And then stop and just be for a moment in this space. Notice how you feel now. Okay, and then you'll slowly come back in a seated position if you're not. Maybe doing some movement of the spine, maybe even standing up and shaking your body out. Because you know what? Dancing, that also increases enthusiasm. Dancing, playing instruments, like that goes also to the part of being creative and letting your energy flow, because creativity is energy in motion that creates something, and that may stay for a moment, but maybe not. And then really allow yourself to do the stuff you hold back to do, because eventually, if you don't do the stuff that you want to do, if you are not yourself, if you don't allow yourself to express yourself in whatever way, if this is like saying no when you don't want something or saying yes when you want something and anything in between, then if we push that constantly down, nothing is gonna help. Like, even the most beautiful home will not make you feel alive and enthusiastic and having this that thirst for life. So notice in which area of your life you don't have that thirst for life, that like, ah, that life tastes so good. And I don't say it has to be everywhere with every single task. We all have tasks that, well, like bringing the garbage out is one for me. But maybe if we hum on the way there, if you hum, maybe it becomes like a pleasurable practice. I try to see this as a digestive walk, but yeah. So the way we attach meaning to things, activities, makes a big difference too. Next, what I would love to show you is a mudra, a hand gesture that invokes a specific energy in our body and that you can meditate with. And This mudra you can do 3 times a day if you want for 5 to 15 minutes. And it's called the Pran Mudra. So the life mudra, life force mudra. And I will show you the fingers so you can put them already in that position, and then I will tell you more about the mantra. But if you can, close the eyes once you have the mantra. So we'll extend both hands in the front, and then we'll keep our index finger and our middle finger long and place the thumb on the ring finger nail and the small fingernail. So it's like this. But if you can't touch the nail, you can just do the fingertips. So like this. What happens if you touch the nail is that it activates the left and the right side of the brain. So that's quite cool. But you know, whatever works with the fingers, and we have to play a bit with it. And those fingers are strong. And then you can place your hands on your legs and really relax your shoulders, your tailbone down. If you're not sitting onto something, you really want to elevate your hips because elevating the hips gives you a lift in your chest. And then just for a moment, close your eyes before I even start telling you too much. And visualize either yourself as a tree or a tree in front of you that is strong, stable, is thriving, it has stable roots and beautiful leaves. Mm. And our affirmation for this mudra is, just as an example, you can choose your own, inspired by this. I have a healthy appetite for the small and large adventures of life. I digest the challenges with great pleasure and joy. So, I have a healthy appetite for the small and large adventures of life. I digest the challenges with great pleasure and joy. Now, just stay here longer and just feel what is mudra is doing in your physical body, your mind, your emotions. You keep breathing calmly. We can come here to the three-part breath, inhaling through the nose, chest, belly, and then you empty your belly, chest, nose. Inhale through the nose, chest, belly. Exhale from the belly, chest, nose. Inhale from the nose, chest, belly. Empty the belly first, chest, nose, and in your own rhythm with your breath, keep doing 3 more rounds. And keep your fingers where they are. May get a little uncomfortable in the beginning, but just stay there. And soften in your body, in your jaw, in the fingers, in your pelvis. Breathing calmly and holding the Pran Mudra increases a feeling of inner stability, of calming the mind, and you feeling like you have a safe anchor within yourself. It helps to clear the mind and your vision, like literally your eyes, the physical eyes, but also your inner vision, so that you can see through things and your own bullshit, anything that is clouding your view on a life and yourself. It increases stamina and reduces fatigue, confusion, and really awakens that, yeah, root feeling, like you feel rooted, earth, grounded. And that's where also you can imagine that tree. And the mantra, I have a healthy appetite for the small and great adventures of life. I digest the challenges with great pleasure and joy. Take 3 more calm breaths here. And then release your fingers and just feel, maybe placing the hands on the palms down to keep the energy within. And then for a moment, write down how you're feeling now and what what are you taking out of this today? Like, what are the insights? Hmm. And we'll close the space with a from the heart or a mm. Let's do a mm. So hands to the heart. We'll close our eyes, take a full breath in and out. And then inhale. Oh, thank you so much for practicing with me today. If you want, you can rub your fingers and hands, filling them up with enthusiasm and healing and nourishment on a deep soul level. And yeah, let me know if you liked it today, what insights you had. Yeah, and if you're keen to learn more, and if you have topic wishes, feel free, to send me an email. I'm always open because in the end, this should be helping you in your day-to-day life. So whenever you feel you need that clarity, come back to that mudra. Whenever you feel, hey, I'm like kind of just rigid and I'm not enjoying anything anymore, come back to the and feeling the sound and make a beautiful home. Like, come on, like, let's do it today and enjoy ourselves more because life is too short to, suffer if we actually don't have to suffer. So thank you so much, and I am wishing you a wonderful day, and I see you soon.